Now for today's quick shot of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
Welcome to this Sips episode quick shot edition where everything good in life is worth discussing. This is good old boy Mike in the studio with a brief episode introduction. This episode is presented by Flaviar. It's an online whiskey club for spirits enthusiasts. Join the club and get a quarterly tasting box, free shipping on full-size bottles, invitations to tasting events, and exclusive access to rare and vintage editions. For more info, go to flaviar.com/sips. That's FLAVIAR.com/sips. On this episode, we're going to review the 2017 Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, and here is that lineup this year. Now, many of these products are bottled at cask strength, and this provides a unique product year after year. William Larue Weller at 128.2 proof. Thomas Handy at 127.2 proof. Sazerac, standard 90 proof. George T. Stagg at 129.2 proof. And Eagle Rare at a standard 90 proof. Now, there's plenty of drama trying to find these products, and we wanted to let you know if all of the effort to find these products is worth it this year. We'll include these facts on our show notes. Happy hunting, and now here's Bob and the rest of the cast for today's episode.
Hey, this is good old boy Bob, and we're here to talk about some lovely whiskeys that are just getting ready to come out from Buffalo Trace. Everybody's always scrambling to get them every year. It's the Buffalo Trace Antique Series. So we are fortunate that they were kind enough to send us some samples of each of the 5 this year. So we're going to taste them and let you know what we think about them. Who wants to go first?
Well, I'd love to go first.
All right.
Oh, I'm going to, so we'll start off with what? The Stag, huh? Little George T. Stagg.
I think I'd start the other way and work your way up.
Oh, come on. I want to burn my palate off right off the bat. You want me to start at the very end with like a Sazerac or an Eagle Rare?
Might be a good idea.
Okay.
Why not?
Let me go with the Eagle Rare. Let's start off with the Eagle Rare. This is, the first thing about this Eagle Rare is something I noticed about last year. I tried some with somebody was raving about how their Eagle Rare barrel pick, just a regular Eagle Rare, was as good as the Eagle Rare 17. So we tried it off, and the 17 this year, just like last year and the year before, layer upon layer upon layer of flavor. I can't say enough.
We could call it the layer cake.
The layer, it's kind of like a layer cake. Yeah,
it is. It's a beautiful thing.
Right, it is a beautiful thing. You get that toffee, vanilla, a little bit of tobacco, a little bit of woodiness to it, and it lingers. It goes on, over and over. Every time you taste it, you get another layer of flavor, and
the mouthfeel is just beautiful.
Oh, it's great. I love this one.
Yeah,
it's too bad. This one here they have is the only one that they have this year.
Drink it in.
Yeah. This is the only one that they have less of. Last year they produced. This year there's 1,461 bottles, which is 2,731 less than last year. So the good news is overall for everything,
it's dropped by almost 2/3 of production.
Yeah, that's a lot less. But overall, with all 5 of them, there's 33,932 more bottles. So that's a lot.
Yeah, well, if people allocate it well, everybody should be able to has a much better chance of getting at least one bottle from the collection.
Yeah, especially the Stag this year. So,
Bob, I agree with you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
What do you think of the 17, Bob?
I got a lot of baking spice in it, and it was like eating a hard candy. It was absolutely lovely, and the layers on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've had an Eagle Rare that was quite that, intense, quite that nuanced in a while. That's always been, not that I don't like any of them. I love them all, but of all of them, it's typically been my least favorite. But this one was really, really lovely. Just awesome.
Yeah, it's a shame there's fewer this year.
Yeah, no, this has always been a favorite of mine. I think the regular Eagle Rare you can't go wrong with. I've never had a bad bottle of that. And this year, this doesn't disappoint at all. And honestly, it's hard not to call this one of the top picks of the bunch.
All right.
It's just fabulous.
What do we think, guys? 5? 4?
5 sips.
5 sips.
Oh my goodness!
All right. All right, Maury, pick one.
Well, if I get to pick one, I'm going to pick the William Larue Weller.
How did I know?
Because right next to the...
Pick a bad one, will you?
There are no bad ones. But right next to the Eagle Rare 17, there's no question that this is my number one pick of the collection this year. It's just fantastic. It's got the most amazing mouthfeel. It just is luscious and creamy and mouth coating. It's got bold flavors. You're definitely getting toffee and marshmallow and leather. It's just an amazing, amazing whiskey. It's too bad that they're so hard to find. What's the production this year, Brent? I think this one went up a little bit.
Yeah, this one did go up a little bit. This one has 19,040 bottles, which is 5,619 more than last year.
So that's nice. It's about a 30% increase.
Yeah, so after I get my 5,000, then everybody else gets exactly what they had last year, and I don't have to feel guilty.
Correct.
Right.
The proof this year is 128.2. It's just an amazing, amazing whiskey.
Yeah, it's 12 years, 6 months at bottling.
Exactly. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just, there's brown sugar, there's molasses in the nose. The thing about this one that hit me is the finish. I mean, when you take a sip of this and you swallow it, it just continues to grow. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
I was worried when my first sip. I thought I had a lot of leather. I almost thought it had too much leather to it. And then all of a sudden you get that mouthfeel and the finish with the toasted marshmallow and that finish on it. Oh,
yeah. I meant to say that. I think, Bob, I think I would call that the mushroom cloud finish. Mm-hmm. It just comes up delicately and just envelops your entire face.
I'm still swishing it around.
Swishing it around. Clean up an aisle 4 for Bob, please.
It does. It's not a kick in the teeth finish. It's definitely more finesse. But you're right. That finish grows and then just goes on and on.
It doesn't just go on. It gets bigger for a good 10 count, and then it starts fading. Wow. I mean, 5. Definitely a 5.
Oh my goodness.
No question.
Yeah, 5. I think it's 5 all the way around on this one for sure.
Yeah, I honestly don't see how you could go wrong with that.
No, you can't.
What are you going to talk about, Bob?
Well, I'll try this little nasty one on the end. My Death Row Bourbon, George D. Stagg.
How did I know you're going to pick that now?
Now, anytime.
Another cleanup on aisle 4, please.
At birth, at death, anytime it goes with everything.
Should we call it the funeral whiskey?
Yeah.
It's always it's like when Wile E. Coyote gets hit in the face with a frying pan. It just grabs you by the scruff of the neck and goes, "I'm a bourbon, damn it!"
Do you have a sound effect for that?
No, I didn't even think about that. I probably should have, but it's just, oh my God, this is absolutely lovely. It's always huge, but this one is extremely well balanced. I think it's better than last year. I loved last year, but I think it's better than last year. Chewy, like it always is. It's like eating a steak. It's stunning, and it's always my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Ron Burgundy?
It's a formidable
I think that this is not for the faint of heart. This is not a beginner's bourbon.
When I take a sip of it, hold on.
That clip's about as long as the finish goes.
Yeah,
it really just keeps.
No, it's not as long.
No, the finish is still going.
Still going.
The finish is still going. You know.
Yeah, it's just. an unbelievable whiskey. But I do think it's important to stress that if you're a novice, if you're just getting into whiskeys and things like that, you might have a little shock, both sticker shock as well as the difficulty in finding these whiskeys. But also the Stag is really, it's a full on take no prisoners whiskey.
Oh yeah, it is. This one here is 37,998 bottles. That's a full 28,877 more bottles than last year.
That's an unbelievable
number.
Well, this is one of the few releases from any distillery that they give you so much information.
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
we're not used to having that.
They put the letters into boxes if you're lucky enough to actually see a box with 3 of them in it. But,
right.
I mean, you can always download them. I've got them here. And, I mean, it doesn't tell you just, the recipe. It tells you year of distillation, release, proof, what screen mesh they use when grinding the corn. They tell you who made the barrels, where it's at. I mean, nobody gives you that much information except Sazerac when dealing with this. It's
129 too.
Yeah,
so,
it's actually a lower proof than the last couple of years, which is fine by me. I mean, it doesn't always have to be 142, although it doesn't hurt. Just saying, in case Harlan, if you're listening, 142 is a really great number. I've always really kind of liked that one. All right, we'll be back.
Hey, Mike, are you on a first-name basis with the delivery guy?
I should be. We get lots of cool stuff all the time, but it's always the tasting box from Flaviar that I look forward to. I feel like a spirits explorer trying new drinks from all over the world.
Oh, yeah, Flaviar. That's the online spirits club that has drinks you can often not find and has access to all those private bottlings and special tasting events. Wow, there's lots of really cool stuff in this tasting box.
Yep, they actually claim to have over 150,000 reviews and a huge database of spirits. Plus, you can taste a lot of these drinks before buying a bottle.
Sounds like a holiday every time that little box shows up. Do they stock full-size bottles, too?
Of course. Club members even get free shipping if you order from Flaviar. They carry plenty of products we talked about on Suds and Smokes, but also the vintage and rare stuff from their vault.
I'm going to join this club just as well, as a gift from Dave.
Right, the hallmark of most relationships, shopping for yourself. By the way, these guys are so popular, they usually have a wait list, but they've arranged a backdoor just for us, and we get a special gift too. Go to flaviar.com/sips. That's FLAVIAR.com/sips before they run out.
Let me see now. FLAVIAR.com/sips. Look, they have rum. Oh, and I love rum. And scotch and cognac. Oh, this is such a wonderful gift from Dave. And tequila and bourbon and rye and Irish whiskey and gin. Ah, I love gin.
And we're back, and we're here tasting this year's Buffalo Trace Antique Collection release. It should be hitting stores in the next several weeks, 2 months, depending upon where you're at in the country.
They say early October is when it's coming out. So
there's
every one of them $90.
Somebody has the tracking map where everybody is.
Yeah, they can look and see where it is.
I mean, here in Florida, it always seems like it hits the middle of the state before it trickles its way down here. But
it's a lot further for it to travel from Kentucky to get down to South Florida.
I don't care. Get down here. Get in my belly.
Right. I mean, if you can find it at retail, it's nice because I think every one of them is the retail price of $90 a bottle, which is great. So
yeah, no, it's a very reasonable price.
Yeah. Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Oh no, that's not an opinion. That's the retail price.
Good luck finding it at that price.
Yeah, that's exactly
Unfortunately, the secondary price.
Man, there's a beverage here.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to knock your drink over. All right. Well, let's get back to tasting these amazingly good whiskeys. And let's...
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Thank you, Rocky.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you about one that was, in the not-too-distant past, left on the shelf. And while all the guys were chasing these antique whiskeys that were old and high-proof...
this was always the one that, back in the day, people turned, Yeah, okay, I'll leave that one. I'm going for this one.
Correct. It's actually not much less proof. This clocking in at 127.2 is the Thomas Handy Sazerac Rye. It's uncut, unfiltered, straight rye whiskey. It's got an amazing pedigree, previously been named Whiskey of the Year, Best American Whiskey. It's an amazing whiskey. Again, echoing what Bob said about all the information we get, this one we know is distilled in the spring of 2011. We know it was aged on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floors of warehouses K, L, and Q. And it's just a staggering, amazing, wonderful whiskey. It's young. There's definitely some allspice and cinnamon. It's got an interesting nose. You're definitely getting all those spices on the nose. It's not quite as creamy and voluptuous in the mouth as some of the other ones we've talked about, but it's still delicious.
Yeah, I think that's the age.
Nonetheless. Yeah, I think that's age.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a negative. It's just a comparison.
No.
That's the thing I always liked about it. It was the different one.
Right. You get that nose. You get a little bit of flowers or perfume on the nose.
Yeah, well,
too.
that's exactly where I was going. It's got some spice in the mid palate, but on the nose, it's definitely very perfumey. It's got a lot of floral notes on the palate, and then it's got
I think Brent hit it right on the head.
Yeah, it reminds me of an OESQ of Four Roses.
Yeah,
very, very, very floral.
Yeah, when you do
this particular expression is very floral,
and the more air it gets,
and I would agree with that.
I mean, if you let it just sit in the glass and don't touch it, it's not as flowery. But as soon as you move it,
if you let it sit in the glass and don't touch it, you get cinnamon and allspice.
Yeah. But
if you swirl it,
as soon as it gets the air, then it's like walking into a flower shop, which is I don't remember having a Handy quite like this.
No, this is very unique. It's unique from Handy, what I remember in the past. It's also unique compared to the other expressions. So, again, a wonderful whiskey. It's a little different than all the other expressions, but super amazing, delicious, wonderful, nonetheless.
So you're saying you like a Handy?
I'd like a Handy.
Hey, this is a family show, man.
Oh, peace and love. Peace and love.
Yeah.
Thank you. Could anybody give it less than 5 sips?
I don't think so. But this one here has this year it's got 14,021 bottles, which is 2,077 more than last year. It's 6 years, 5 months, and 100. You said 127.2 proof.
Yeah. So again, I've still got Snowball's chance to find it, but it's still worth hunting down because
a little bit more of a snowball than last year.
Yeah.
By the time you send a snowball from up north to Florida,
snowballs don't work real well here in Florida.
You'll have that sort of a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I love the nose on it. I think it doesn't really fit in with the other four, but that's kind of why I like it. It's different, and like Brent said, as soon as he smelled it, he goes, "Oh, ESQ." I mean, it's definitely that big flowery thing.
But you got to swirl it and aerate it to get that.
Yeah, it doesn't get it when you sit there.
I didn't look on my notes, and I picked it up and got cinnamon and allspice, and then
it's a different animal than the others. I mean, honestly, the only thing I would say about it that is not 100% positive on the finish, it's a little bit tannic, but that may just be me.
I think that also might be from maybe a little bit on the age, a little bit. I don't know, but. It's not. I mean, gosh, it's still 5.
Yeah, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to use the word bitter or anything. It's just there's definitely some more. There's more tannin in this. The balance is just.
Now I saw that more with the Saz 18, which we're going to talk about next.
The balance is slightly more toward tannic than it is to soft, but again, I'd suck.
Bob, I'll take your leftovers. Just pour them out. Put it in my glass.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
All right, Brent. You want to do?
Is there good 5s and bad 5s? Is what I want to know. It's
the good ones are the ones I get at retail.
Yeah,
which I don't think exist anywhere on planet Earth, but one can hope.
Yeah, the last one we're going to talk about is the Sazerac Rye 18-year-old. This one here. Just to give you a little bit of numbers, 2,637 bottles, which that's only 50 bottles more than last year. So basically, it's the same as last year. Which is not bad at all. But the you get a lot. First thing you get on this is I get a lot of leather. I get a lot of leather and tobacco, and you say that, and a little bit of a slight bitterness, and I think that's the tannins from the wood and stuff, and maybe it's just because it is 18 years.
It's really just the finish where you get that strong tannic.
Am I the only one who gets a little nervous when he keeps saying leather?
Leather.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. He keeps looking at me.
Yeah, but
I like you. Like as a friend. Like.
Yeah, but this was put in. This was put in a stainless steel tank in 2016 to stop the further aging and evaporation. So I think that's one of the reasons why this one has closer to the same number of bottles, because I think they're allotting so many, allocating every year, single year, so many bottles. It's not aging any farther, it's not evaporating any farther, and instead of just putting them all out in 1 year, now they're allocating them until they can catch up with the barrels and go on from there. But still,
but I do think I wouldn't let this age any further. There's no question.
Well, they were right to take it out and put it.
They were right.
I think that's why they stuck it in that.
I wouldn't say it's over the hill, but I would say it's certainly at or near its prime, and it's not going to get any better from here in terms of more age.
Yeah, I have to give it that 5 sips.
Oh my goodness!
All right. You can't go wrong.
No, 5 bottles, 5 sips. I guess that's 25 sips.
It's a sip trick.
Well, I'd say this year's release is definitely a hit.
Home run.
Yeah.
Home run.
Yeah. I've never had a Weller and a Stag that were so close for me.
Yeah.
As they are this year.
Yeah, that Weller, that marshmallow on the Weller.
The finish on both. The finish on that Weller is just stunning.
Yep.
But yeah, it's track them down if you can get them, guys. This is a good one. We want to thank the fine folks at Sazerac. Thank Amy Presky over in the PR department for sending these to us. So we will talk to you later.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.